to the channel. I'm Mo.J, and this is episode 5 of Ready to Love. I know last week I didn't get to upload episode 4. I recorded it, but the file came up corrupt. Long story short, I was too lazy to re-record it. But anyway, I got episode 5, and I'm back for y'all. I won't let y'all down again. But before we go any further, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of this, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. And if you know me, I'm not going to hold you up. Let's jump right into it. This is episode 5 of Ready to Love. So the first scene we get Brian, Chris, and we get Alex. And all of them, they're just sitting around talking about what's been going on and things. So they ask Brian, how was his date with Alicia? He was like, it was pretty good, you know what I'm saying? Went over there, we chilled, we hung out, and I told her I'd be back later or whatever. But I came down the hall and I stopped at Alex's room, and me and her, we already got little chemistry and things. You could tell that Alex is feeling them too. So they're talking about it, a little laughing and joking around. Chris is in the background putting in his little 2 cents. But since the gentleman have the power this week, he doesn't have to worry about getting eliminated. And it looks like he's more worried about working out, but it is what it is. So Alex and Brian, they're just doing their little talking. Like I said, we know that they're attracted to each other. So while Brian was in the room, he's telling Alex, I stopped by, I wanted to, tell you good night before you went to sleep. And I kind of wanted a kiss. So now she's blushing and stuff. So these two, I think they got a nice little connection on them. Now the moment we all been waiting on, Rashid actually confronts Denise. I won't really say confront, but they're adults, so they're actually meeting up and talking because Denise and Adriana, they had their little conversation back and forth about him and how Denise felt towards him and how Adriana felt towards him. And we know Adriana, she's defending Rashid because that's who she's interested in. So these two, they actually sit down since Denise has told Adriana that, oh, he's light skinned, he's a narcissist, he was in a frat, so he's gonna be a liar, he's gonna do certain things that triggers her. And Rashid's like, I don't appreciate that because you don't know who I am for you to be judging like that. So it's good they actually sat down and they went over this and they actually had an understanding about, okay, this is how you feel, this is what you experienced, this is what I experienced. But let's put that aside and let's get to know each other for us because we haven't actually had a one-on-one since the first little incident that we had. But it's good they hashed it out. Even if they aren't attracted to each other, they at least sat down like adults and they had the conversation. This is a good one. We have the chef, my boy Mr. Edwin was in the military, and then we have Naya, she owns the hair salon. So they're actually talking, and this gives us a chance to actually see what Edwin's talking about and him opening up. And he's talking about his dog tags being exposed. One's from Afghanistan, one's for his friend. And he's just saying like, this is me, this is who I am. I've been vulnerable, but now I'm open and I'm trying to find love, but I'm trying to figure it out at the same time. And then Naya, she comes and she's like, okay, I can actually have a conversation with Edwin. And she starts opening up a little bit too. She starts speaking about when she had a couple of miscarriages and things of that nature. So both of them, they're seeing a side that is going a little deep. It's not surface level anymore. It's actually getting to know somebody. And even if it is one of your like little vulnerable moments, it's something that you may have been insecure about. If you find someone else that you can actually talk to about that, then that's good. So these two, they feel like they got that grown connection. I haven't seen a connection like this between other people. Usually they're joking around and you can tell they're attracted to each other. But this one, it seems like they're both interested in each other's conversation. Here we go. The drama has started. Whenever you get 2 or 3 people, I say anything more than 3 people is about to be some kind of drama, something that's got to be going on. So we got 2 situations here. First situation we're going to address is the Brian situation. We all know that he was supposed to go back to Alicia's room, but instead of coming back, he went on over to Alex's room. We know he's attracted to Alex. So what they're saying is, and Alicia, to me personally, she's making a big deal about it. If he didn't come back, he didn't come back, regardless of what it was. You went and spied on him after that. So I think you guys are pretty much even. But it wasn't that deep. It's a dating show. So his job is to go date somebody else. So if something pops up, he isn't responsible to come back to you and tell you exactly what happened because y'all not together. So that's the first issue. They're talking about Brian. And they go around and they ask Chris, if you're not attracted to a woman, if you didn't want to come back, would you tell her that? And Chris is like, pretty much she didn't want to answer, which you're not supposed to answer in this situation if you're a guy, because this isn't you don't speak on another man. But Anthony, I mean, he handled it like a G. He was like, if I'm not attracted to her, I'm gonna let her know I'm not attracted to her. So that was number one. pretty much they're all looking at Brian like you were supposed to come back or at least be a man to tell her that you wasn't coming back. And Alicia looked at him as a lame. Then the second thing is Simone saying that she seen Jay go into Winter's room. Now, with this, they made a big deal about it. Everyone was at the pool. Jay had his shirt off. So when he went to the room, he wasn't half naked. He was just in swim attire. That's what everyone had on. But, they seen him in there. They heard it. And Simone went around and told people like, hey, Jay he was in Winter's room. Like, what? Come on, man. After the big tea session, Winter and Joy, they actually go and they talk to Simone. And they're just asking, like, Joy's like, Simone, why did you feel that you needed to tell me that Jay went over into her room or whatever when, like, Winter felt that you and her were cool? And Simone's like, I didn't mean to. So it's like, Winter's like, I really can't trust you at this point. Like, I thought me and you were good. So why would you do this and say that he came to my room and he was half naked? Like, it just snake stuff. But at the end of the day, it's a TV show and it's a game show. So you gotta try to win. You're not here to make friends. You're here to fall in love. After this, y'all might not come in contact with each other, but if you find love, you two will be together after it. So they're just all here sitting there and they're talking about it. It's good that they all came together. And out of nowhere, Simone starts crying about it again. I didn't mean to do this. I didn't want to hurt you or anything. It's just, save it, Simone. Like, we get it. We get it. You're not going to admit it, but we get it. You were trying to, you know what I'm saying? Make your move. It's a game show. You got to win. Chris sits down with my boy Brian. He breaks it down like, hey man, they said you've been acting like an F boy, man. Like you gotta chill. You supposed to be with Alicia. You told her you was gonna come back. You went down the hall. You went to another woman's room, and like you didn't tell Alicia anything. So Chris asked him, what are you doing, ghosting her? And I like what Brian said. He said, I didn't ghost her. I zombied her. And what that means is when you see a zombie, it's dead, but it's alive, so it's still walking. So I didn't ghost her and just disappear all the way. It's just, if I see you, it's what up. We're going to keep it moving. Brian's not attracted to Alicia. After they got rid of David, everyone's like, we're looking at Alicia differently, man. But Chris, he talked to him because Chris is older and he's just like, hey, man, you got to let a woman know if you're interested or if you're not interested. You can't just leave them out there. And Brian is saying, that's something I got to work on. So Brian, hopefully he works on it, but he's safe this week because the men, we got the power. I'm going to be the first one to tell y'all, at this point, it ain't looking good for my boy Brian. Alicia actually sat down with Alex and they talked about it, about Brian supposed to come back to, watch TV with her after he took a shower, but he stopped down in her room. So Alex is kind of like, what's that got to do with me? I didn't have anything to do with this. But Alicia's like, I was feeling him and he left and went to you. Alex is like, okay, now it doesn't have, what your situation doesn't have anything to do with me. But for me, it's the trust factor with Brian. If he would do that to you, then he would do that to me. But that's not necessarily true, ladies. If he's really attracted to you and he really wants to be with you, then he won't. Obviously, he wasn't that feeling Alicia that much. That's why he knew exactly where he was going, to Alex's room. But after all this, Alicia and Alex, they're good. So Alex, she goes and gets Brian for Alicia and tells him to go over there and talk to him. Alicia and Brian, they actually had a little sit down, and Brian's like, it's hard for me to be able to let other people down. So I have to work on that. And I mean, I'm attracted to you and everything, and I don't want to lose what we have. But Alicia's pretty much like, you know what? I'm done. It's over with. There can never be a you and I. So she pretty much put him in the friend zone, but it's not even a friend zone because she's just mad at him. No one else is feeling you on the show. Brian was your last hope, so it looks like you're probably going to end up going home, man. Now, my boy Jay is pretty much low key. I like him. He has his grown man. He stays to himself. He handles his business. Now, him and Joy, they actually talk about what went on, how he went to Winter's room and everything. But for him, the thing is like I'm a man. I'm gonna do what I want to do. But if you have something to ask, don't go ask somebody else. Don't listen to he say she say. Come to me, and I'm gonna give you the honest answer because I don't have anything to hide. I like his approach, and I like that he's just straightforward. And he's sticking to what he is. He's a man, so he's like, hey, if I do something, I'm gonna stand on it. So whatever you heard from somebody, all you had to do is come and ask me. I'm attracted to you. I'm here looking for love. So I'm not gonna waste my time doing anything. Enjoy. She's listening to it and she's understanding that, hey, Jay is serious. But she's just, when you have the competition, eh, it's gonna be tough. I mean, it's a little bit different for females than it is for us men. So I know when I have competition, I'm gonna have to go a little hard, but I'm not gonna ask somebody about information on what he did or what the girl did and relay it. But that's not me. But the women, they talk, and you got to look at it that they're leaving this week, so they got to figure out what is what because all of them are on the chopping block. Two people got to go, but Jay got his point across to Joy, and I think she was feeling it. Now, this is something that's interesting. So, Cal Fani and Adriana, we know they had their little thing on the couch that Denise didn't really like because Denise doesn't like Rashid. So, that means she doesn't like Adriana because Rashid likes her. And then she sees Cal Fani with her. But these two, when they link up, is good. Like, the vibes is good. She even said when she's with Cal Fani, it feels like she's in high school. She's just always smiling. She just feels good around them. And she's opening up to him. She's telling him like, I like the smaller things. And Calfani, he's agreeing like, hey, that's how I am too. And then she also mentioned, what I'm saying, when she said she was tired from walking, he picked her up and was like, let's go. And then they started to get into a little touchy feely. He started working his way up the arm, you know what I'm saying, talking about, yeah, you know what I'm saying, when that hand get on you, get you that little massage, get you through your day. But that's what I'm here for, pretty much. You have a tough day. I'm here to relieve all the stress from everything you had. Listen to what went on. So Calfani's making his moves, and I can see she's gonna have to choose between Rashid and Calfani, but it's gonna be a fight with Denise if she goes after Calfani. Now we finally get our sit down with Tommy. So when they all sit down, they all go over who they like, and they just give a quick response to all of it. But the big thing here is we want to know who don't you guys like, who aren't you guys attracted to, or who do you think you would want to leave. And everyone first started off by saying Shay. The reason they said Shay is because she just gives that, as Cal Fawning was said, you know what I'm saying, dapper up, like someone I would hang with, like the homegirl. So everyone was like, yeah, she's playful, she's cool to talk to, but nothing more than that. She's not connecting with nobody. She's not deep. When they have deeper conversations, she will walk off and leave. So everyone, of course, says her at first. The next person that they all say is Alicia. But we all know that Alicia isn't connected to anybody. The only person that was connected to it was Brian, and we already seen that got cut off today. So, like I mentioned earlier, you could already see what direction this was going into. Like, this is probably going to be the end of the road for her. So as of right now on the chopping block, we got Alicia, we got Shay, and then the last person they said is Denise. And the reason for that is because Rashid brought up the point of, oh, she says I'm light skinned and in a frat. So that's when Tommy's like, hey, we got to kill this stereotype. And all the men are like, yeah, man, like no one even all that dark skin, light skin, black, brown, and that's like middle school, elementary stuff. We don't, as an adult, who cares, man? As long as who cares? But we got to get rid of three women. Three women, two gone, one stays. The first person on the chopping block is Miss Shay. So they have Edwin go out there and talk to Shay. And he's pretty much telling her, like, everyone here, we like you, you're fun, your personality, everything is great. And, they're just having a normal conversation. But along with that, he goes into none of us really felt a connection past a little friendship, past like dapping you up and saying what's up or grabbing a drink with you and joking. And a lot of us men, we're here looking for more than that. Like when we were younger, we're just looking for something fast, fun, not really caring, just, living life. But at this point, we're ready to love. And unfortunately, we have to let you go. I mean, none of us had like a physical or anything, any connection past just being friends with you. So unfortunately, Shay was the first one to leave tonight. Next up, come on down Denise. So Denise comes out and they have my boy Calfani go out there and talk to her. And they're just having a normal conversation. And we know Calfani's attracted to her, so he tells her she's beautiful. And she's like, yeah, you look good too. You look good too. And they just out there talking because we already know they have a connection. So it's you kind of know where this is going. So he's like, yeah, me and several other the gentlemen, we found a connection and we're very interested in you. So Long story short, you're here to stay. So Denise, you made it through the cut. Hey, you safe for the night. That means, unfortunately, we got to go see what Alicia got going on. Alicia, we know what's going to happen here. They send my boy KG Smooth out there, and he's pretty much telling her, me and the other gentleman, we just don't see a connection with you, which makes her defensive right off the back. She pretty much says, well, I wasn't attracted to anyone but Brian, and he kind of ruined that, so it's probably best I leave. And Chris is like, okay, I mean, I respect it, you know what I'm saying? But before she gets up and leaves, she's like, I'm gonna take my shoes off before I walk up there. So Chris actually helps her out, and when she gets up and walk off, he's like, I hate watching you go, but I love to watch you leave. So unfortunately, Alicia was our second cut for the night, and that's the end of that. Now, what they did was spin a little thing on us. So they had the elimination, but they still gave us a little bit more of the episode for the next week. So it leads up into the next week. So after the eliminations, they're talking to Adriana, and they're like, Denise didn't get sent home last night. Now, the thing about this is, Denise is really only attracted to one guy that they know about, which is Calfani. We know it's not Rashid, so that's why they're joking to Adriana about it. So Adriana's like, the two people I'm interested in is Rashid and Calfani. So I don't know how to feel because I do like Calfani, but I know Denise likes Calfani, and me and Denise don't see eye to eye. So for Adriana, it's like, I want to, get to know both the guys, but I don't know how it's going to turn out. My quick question, why is it okay for her to be able to talk to two different guys and it's not a problem, but when a guy talks to two different women, it's a problem in the house? Y'all let me know. I mean, the women had a power now, so I guess they can do that, but let me know. Now, this here was very, very unexpected for me. Anthony and Denise, they went out and they were playing, I think it's called cricket, where you got to hit the little ball through the little metal, the little poles or whatever. So they're playing, and you can tell they both have the competitive nature, and they both have a personality and a sense of humor that they're talking about. Okay, let's make a bet. Whoever wins this, the loser has to go skinny dipping in the pool. So while they're playing, Anthony doing his thing, he trying to hit the ball through the hole, and she like, oh, you can't find the hole. So we already see that they have the little, saying they didn't already jump to the little sexual jokes and things, which is cool. If you got that kind of open relationship with somebody, hey, then you guys are comfortable. But long story short, my boy Anthony won. And Denise, take the top off. You gotta go get in that pool, girl. We ain't backtrailing on these bets. So Tommy sits the women down and he's talking to them for the end of the episode. And he's saying, now we need to figure out, are you guys really attracted to somebody or not? Because it's getting down to the real deal now. But in the real world, whenever y'all date somebody, or if I date somebody, if you're really comfortable around them and this is who you're going to be with, then you introduce them to your friends. So Tommy tells them, hey, it's time for y'all to start figuring it out because we're bringing your friends here and you're going to introduce one person or maybe two to who you're interested. Like if whoever you're interested in, introduce them to your friend. And your friend's going to be the judge because your friend's going to tell you straight up. Like, I don't know if that person is for you. So, fellas, be on your A game next week. Be on your A game. There we go. Episode 5. Hey, it's crazy, man. Alicia gone, Shay gone. Hey, we gonna look forward now. Women got the power, and they bringing their friends. Comment below. Do you think that elimination was good? Were those the two people you were expecting? Let me know. But anyway, thanks for watching. We're gonna be here next week for episode 6 of Ready to Love. I'm Mode IJ. If you like the page, you like the content, man, like, comment, share. Please subscribe to the channel. Hit your notifications. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.